Coming up on today's episode, you may hear information about different NFTs or investment opportunities. As always, we remind you we are not financial advisors. This is not financial advice, and some of the information you hear may be inaccurate. Enjoy the
Do
show.
your own research. Sorry, fuck that bit up. Hello and welcome to Nearly Fresh Topics. We're not quite cutting edge, but we're close. This is episode 10. Oh my god! It's episode 10. All right, okay, sorry.
I love it. That's how I feel.
Yeah, that's the energy we want. I just can't sustain it. You know, I'm very what do you say? Just a low energy guy. What can I say?
Right. But you can start it. You just
yeah.
can't
I mean, I can
sustain it.
That's right. So I got about a fucking half a second, and I was like, "Oh, all right, I'm tired." But still, it's a milestone. We've managed to do 10 episodes, one per week. It has been one per week, and yeah, and it's something. I mean, we got there. We got there, and we'll keep on going until we take over the world. Basically, that's the plan.
Basically, yeah. We our numbers are pretty steady. We could do some things to grow it, but you know what the reality is, we're creating the base, because you need that base of episodes, you need content. And then once Crowfolk takes over the world, we can pivot that into podcast domination.
yeah. So many projects. I'm like, oh my god.
I know it's not a bad problem to have. I mean, sometimes I need more time in the day, but other than that, it's not a bad problem to have, to be a little bit busy every now and then.
Yep, for sure. So speaking of Crowfolk and the podcast, since this is episode number 10, we are going to do a giveaway of an actual Crowfolk mint, which comes to a value of about 3 sol. We've announced the price. Finally, 3 sol it is. So yeah, if you fancy some of that, we're going to announce how to do it at the end of the podcast. Stay tuned and yeah, enjoy.
Let's try to remember to announce at the end of the podcast how to join the giveaway.
That is wise. Indeed. Well, how have you been doing anyway?
I've been well. Yeah, just busy working on a bunch of different projects, working on Crowfolk, working on Ragnarok, obviously continuing with the other projects that I'm involved in, Heroes and Villains, Metaforce. This weekend was nice. Took a little bit of time to just step back, and I hadn't intended on making it a recharge weekend, but that's what it ended up being. So I took a not a full Saturday off or a full Sunday off, but most of those days I took off, which was nice and necessary, and I didn't know how necessary it was until I was right in the middle of it.
Yeah, totally. I was wondering, like, where is Jason? I was like, well, it is the weekend, can't expect him to be at my beck and call all the time.
Yeah.
But no, I'm glad you got some chill out time. I was away to my mother's. She'd asked me to come and dog sit for her, basically. And because her house is actually clean and tidy and has heating, and all the typical stuff a house has, Rosanna and I were like, yeah, absolutely, we'll do you a favor and look after your dog.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, so we got a clean house to live in, which is well, it's a godsend right now. So we're feeling pretty recharged. We're back at the house now, though, the old untidy and broken house,
Castle Campbell.
Castle Campbell. It will be grand one day. But yeah, so I was sort of a break as well. I mean, I was busy all the time, but busy doing the fucking website, the Crowfolk website. That's good shit.
Website looks great. Yeah, updated, lots of information. I love how it flows.
Pretty pictures. That's right.
Pictures.
All the fancy fade-in animations for the text boxes.
I love how the gameplay footage is integrated, so it just kind of pops up and there it goes.
Yes, that's crowfolk.io for people interested.
.io. You mentioned, just to go back to your manor home for a moment, you mentioned Rosanna finally had a chance to look at the podcast and wasn't too pleased with your background of choice.
No, she was like, forget about you. Like, I'm embarrassed,
Right.
So yeah, oops. She was
I
like,
li-
get that green screen up immediately. And I was like, yeah, I'll do that. And I forgot. So, you know.
it's just a pain in the ass. I spend more time fighting with green screens than I do anything else, pretty much. No, I like I like the background that you choose, the sort of work in progress, but also don't listen to me because I don't have very good opinions when it comes to interior design or fashion
I
or
see.
style or I mean, look, I'm wearing like a ripped Star Wars t-shirt, so
Class.
yeah,
That's all right. Well, I mean, I guess I would be as well, except Rosanna bought me this sweater. So, at least I look presentable.
tidy up
That's
a
what
little
she
bit.
does. She makes me presentable. And, that's what you need.
See, that's the problem. My fiance Nikki is back to school, and today is the first um, the return to in-class learning.
Right.
They've been online up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
So she couldn't give me a once over this morning because she was already gone to school.
God damn it. Oh, well.
What are we
So
gonna do without them?
I assume she's a teacher then, not a student.
She's a student. She returned to
Okay.
learn. She is doing some upgrading of some high school scores, and then she's going to go into some sort of like social work or that sort of field of study.
All right, nice one.
Yeah.
So
No, it
she
should.
doesn't want to get into NFTs then.
It's funny. She was into NFTs a little bit, right? Well, no, she was never into them. She pretended to be into them. Right after I got into them, it was
she made the
still
effort. That was sweet.
she made the effort. Yeah, she had her own Wax Cloud wallet. She purchased a few NFTs, traded some, kind of felt the highs and lows of buying one and flipping it right away, or buying one and then not flipping it and just having it be saddled with an NFT to one. And then at a certain point, I'd say after maybe 2 months, she kind of just said, okay, here are all my NFTs, I'm done with this.
Right. Fuck this. I tried to please you.
But I appreciated it. It's nice to take interest in each other's stuff. It's hard for me to take interest in her stuff. She's interested in a lot of trash reality TV, and I try, but I can't.
No, it sounds familiar, and I don't want to get into it. Well, I don't want to get into it now that she may watch this and hear me fucking slag her off.
That's right.
No, but I'm the same. I don't like that stuff, and I can't watch it. There's this one called I said I wasn't getting into it, so fuck it. But yeah. Oh, okay. Moving on from the trash TV that I can't stand. What we're talking about, NFTs. Yeah. Actually, Rosanna has a great eye. Like, she's an art teacher. She's very good at it. Very good at the whole Viscom design thing, I would say. She's got an eye for seeing what's right and what's wrong. And she's proposed a few projects to me, like, you should do this, you should do that. And I don't like taking comments from her, but even if they're constructive, I was like, this is me. This is my fucking show. I got to do it myself, and I got to pay the bills and be a man, basically. I don't want your help. But obviously most of the time she's right. So it's hard to swallow.
Well, it's nice. It's nice you've got someone with a critical eye like that. I don't. I can't offer anybody any suggestions when it comes to art. I'm amazed that it can. I've never, even when I was a kid, I think I've said before, I never really enjoyed arts and crafts or art or drawing or anything like that. And it's because I can never make what's in my head, I can never make match what actually comes out. And that's so frustrating. So I've never wanted to. And maybe some of it's practice. Maybe if I had ever stuck with something, I would have gotten a little better, but I just had no interest in sticking with it either. Like, it's just, I've got other things to do. So I'm always amazed when somebody is able to come up with something that looks like something, and it'd be like, who am I to offer suggestions or critiques, because they've already done something amazing.
Well, here's the strange thing. The feeling that you get when you create art and it doesn't look like what you wanted it to look like, and you get disappointed. It's like it's because you have good taste, you would say. Like, I realize what looks good, and this that I produce definitely does not look good. So it takes a long time for you to practice and for your skill to actually match your taste, basically.
Right.
Is how I've heard it described. And it makes sense. I suppose it's the same for any. There's another metaphor that I heard somewhere. I think it was like when you go into an old house and you turn the tap.
Yeah.
First, you get a ton of murky water.
Yeah.
And it's spluttering and whatnot. And it takes a while for it to actually run clear. It's like the more you practice, the more you're running the water, and the quicker it'll run clearer, basically. So chances are you probably do have a good eye, and you're welcome to comment on anything that I do, even if you can't produce it yourself. And I think it's the same for everyone, some more than others, obviously, but yeah, generally people can tell what looks good. And so yeah, you're welcome to speak to me about it. I will not judge you.
In that case,
I will judge you harshly.
Grab a pen, because I've got some notes.
Notepad, right? Okay. I'm gonna regret this.
All right, going back to number one. No, that's awesome. Yeah, and I don't really like to be, well, nobody likes to be criticized, and I feel like I do a pretty good job of taking feedback, but the last thing I want personally is if I've just drawn something for somebody to come around and start to talk about what I could have done better. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good answer. It's very frequent in the comic book world, and well, any sort of profession in art, I guess. If you can't take criticism, you're not gonna make it. Basically, you can't be a diva about it, even though some people are. But the sooner you get over it, the better. So
yeah, and I suppose if you're working for somebody else versus doing it yourself, like anything else, you've got to be willing to take notes, to do it to the way that they wanted it done to.
Yeah. Well, what's the saying? The customer is
always right, but
always right. But not always.
As I've learned, well, it doesn't refer. So the customer is always right does not refer to an individual customer being correct in their individual needs. It refers to the market. The market is always right. You can't argue with the way the market is trending. You can't argue with consumer demand, right? But so for example, Apple resisted for a long time to make a bigger iPhone. They liked that small, sleek style, but the market was headed towards large phones. That's all anybody was buying from their competitors was large phones. So it's like, okay, in that case, the customer is right. You've got to go with where the trends are. But is an individual Chad with his complaint about the way that I don't know, something is done, is that individual person right? No, probably not. And you don't necessarily have to treat them as correct either. So
well, I'm glad to hear that, because I don't think I could ever do retail just for that reason, like having to deal with like Karens or whatever,
it's it's funny reflecting on that. I have reflected on that because I spent so many years in customer service, right? Whether that was retail or direct sales or whatever, it's still at the end of the day customer service. And I'm still in customer service, really, right? Like I'm handling people's questions about the projects, and I'm taking their suggestions into account. And if something happens, and sometimes issues do crop up, and you have to kind of win back that trust of your customers. But so on that regard, I am still in customer service. But on the other regard, it's still the internet. It's still an internet program. So if somebody's being really unacceptable. If somebody is really engaging in bad behavior, then I can just ban them with a click of a button. And that is so freeing and not a luxury I had in my physical retail job, right? So
I bet you wish you did, though. Jeez,
yeah. I mean, the odd time you would have to call security or the police or something, and that's pretty close to a ban button. But
that's just what I was about to say. I suppose the ban in real life is the security throwing them out there.
Yeah.
I thought of something that I just want to bring up. Do you remember I asked you, could you ask Tim Cook to make us a bigger iPad?
Yeah.
Is it Tim Cook? Yeah, that's his name. Well, Galaxy released a Tab S Ultra or something, 15-inch fucking screen.
15-inch. That one hurts when it falls on your face.
I bet it does. But goddamn, I want to try it out now. But it's an expensive beast, alas. But that's cool. That's the sort of thing I need from Apple. So if you get in touch with your buddies there and say Ross needs it,
there's nothing they like more than taking advice from old ex-employees.
I bet.
There was just a hilarious. You can find the image if you search like Fox News gigantic tablets, but there was one election coverage program where they had you could see like the newsroom behind the anchors, and it was just people sitting at gigantic tablets. Like they must have been 50-inch wide tablets, and they're just trying to touch here and then reach over here and reach over here. And it was just the most hilarious concept. Like, okay, there's a reason why not everything needs to be a 55-inch touchscreen next to each other.
They're trying to play fucking Minority Report, being all Tom Cruise.
Yeah, exactly. You're seeing the but yeah,
that would work.
15-inch touchscreen is probably right on the edge of what's realistic. I mean, my monitor right now is 24 inches, and it's like I could maybe see this as a touchscreen, but it would have to be stationary. It couldn't be a portable touchscreen.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I use a Wacom Cintiq. This isn't the touch version, but that is also 24-inch, 16:9, and it's great. It's great to work on. Like, you've so much space, and I actually like the Wacom Cintiq is what would you say, the Porsche, I guess, the Rolls Royce of drawing tablets. And I'd always wanted one, but I was always just using the shitty Wacom Bamboo for close to 10 years, I would say. And it done me well, but now that I'm using the fancy Wacom Cintiq, like a screen tablet as opposed to just this sort of tablet about this size, and you draw on it and you have to watch where your cursor is going on the screen as opposed to actually applying it to the screen.
Right.
It's much better. I digress anyway, but big tablets for the win. 24-inch, so long as it's stationary. I agree. I think there was one. Wacom done a something hybrid, 16-inch screen, but portable. I'm not sure you would apply it to this scenario. It's pretty beefy and heavy and no battery life. So
yeah. If you've got to be plugged in all the time, you're not really accomplishing anything in the portability.
No, that's true. I mean, at least you can take it somewhere easily, but it does mean, like say I have to go to my mum's to dog sit, I can take that with me and I can plug it in.
Right.
Like, as opposed to the Cintiq is a big fucker. It's a big fucker, especially with the stand. So that's not portable. Right. Anyway, okay, I'm fucking boring people with my Wacom.
No, I like it. It's a little bit behind not behind the scenes, but it's fun to learn about artist tools, the various things we use, and so just for people who don't know, a Wacom tablet is basically, it's a drawing aid, right? It lets you draw by hand, and it digitizes it onto the computer automatically.
Yeah. As opposed to using a mouse, you're using a stylus, which looks like a pen. Then there's pressure, sensitivity, so the harder you push, the bigger your brush becomes, that sort of thing. And So yeah, it's much more of a drawing experience than just using a mouse. It's and then you get the screen tablets, which is basically you put a stylus onto the screen, and it same applies, pressure sensitivity, all that jazz. So yeah, screen tablet is much better, but your typical graphics tablets are cool as well, much better than a mouse. Just more expensive, you know.
It's more expensive, whatever,
Yeah.
but it pays off in the long run.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Cool. Well, let's get into a little NFT news. Nothing from OpenSea this week, if you can believe it.
I'm very surprised.
No, $1 million hacks or exploits or anything like that. So that's nice. KPMG Canada, which I believe is a big accounting firm, buys
Right.
World of Women Ethereum NFT and an ENS domain name. The company paid 25 ETH, which was roughly $70,000 for woman number 2681, calling the purchase its first foray into this rapidly growing asset class. So, when an accounting firm is spending money and it's on NFTs, that's probably just another indicator of this thing starting to become mainstream.
Yeah, probably nothing, as I would say in
Probably nothing.
the Discord.
Exactly.
Which is, for those who don't know, probably nothing means this is absolutely something, watch out for that,
This is important. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably nothing.
So so they bought this NFT. The article goes on to explain NFTs. We don't really need to get into that. They also purchased KPMGCA.eth. So they've got their own ENS domain name, which is a vote of confidence in the system as well. And a nice little advertisement for how to send them ETH directly if it's like, there's always the penguinva.eth if you're wanting to explore how to send money to an ENS, there's the penguinva.eth
that's pretty cool.
that is open to accepting funds should somebody be so inclined.
Is that how that works, by the way, the ENS domain? Is it basically you type that in and then gives your address, your ETH address?
Yeah, so not everywhere supports it yet, but you could type that address into MetaMask instead of typing my long character address, and it would get to me.
I see. That's pretty handy. I had no idea what it was for, but that's handy.
Yeah, when you originally purchased the ENS domain, you link it to a to a wallet address, and is it expensive because you've got to pay. It's like 4 different gas transactions. Damn. You have to, I can't remember the different steps, but basically it's like you're paying gas every step of the way to buy the domain, to mint the domain, to tell it you want to link it to an address, and then tell it what address you want to link it to. So an ENS, I think I paid $15 US for 3 years or something for the domain. And then like $170 in gas fees to do everything that needed to be done. So
God damn.
Yeah.
Well, I bet it sounded like a good idea at the time.
It's still worth it. I mean, if I was going to buy a different domain name for 3 years, it would cost me maybe not $170, but it wouldn't be cheapish, right? Like you can get, like nearlyfreshtopics.com. I think our first year cost us a penny, and I think year 2 is going to cost closer to $50. So it is what it is.
So how much does an ENS cost just now? Is it still the same price, you think, or has it gone up?
Yeah, I think it's like all right. So if we wanted to search for Nearly Fresh Topics, we should probably end up now we'll have to end up buying this, otherwise somebody's going to steal it from us. But nearlyfreshtopics.eth is available. 1 year would cost 0.002 ETH. So here I can screen share now.
Cool. So they gave you options for longer leases.
Yeah, so it's
45.
basically $5 a year, $5
Right.
US a year.
Okay. Go and put like 20 years. So that's like.
So 20 years would be 0.034 ETH.
Right.
So $100.07 US.
Yeah. Yeah. So it really isn't. It's just $5 a year, and it doesn't change like the higher you go.
No.
Right.
And then but each of these steps, so like, okay, it's saying at most you're going to pay a 0.014 ETH gas fee, which is equaling about $40. So at most you'll pay 0.047 ETH, which is fine. But what it doesn't tell you is that, like I was saying, after this request to register, that's fine. So then you've paid the gas and now you own that domain. But to link it to your wallet is another step and another set of gas fees, and which again is fine, even if it's another, I bought my domain when gas was particularly high. So whatever, it is what it is. It's, again, I keep saying it is what it is, but it is. If you want one of these, if you want nearlyfreshtopics.eth, and I don't see any reason that we need that really. But if you did, okay, fine. So pay the $100 in gas fees, right? It's really not the end of the world. Let's see. I already claimed my ENS, but let's see if there's any more that I can claim. Oh,
you got a tidy with some, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I'm not going to say exactly how much, but it was 4 figures.
I dig that.
Better than nothing.
Say better than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. How many ENS did you get?
I can't remember. It was a few hundred.
Right. Okay.
It was a few hundred. But let's see. Oh, my tokens are claimed. Damn, you were eligible. I don't like all of that past tense nonsense.
Yeah. Fuck that.
All right, so I received 146. I'm not going to see how much those are worth right now. It is what it is. Again, I'll say it. It is what it is. It's already been bought. It's already been paid. It's already been claimed. I'm not going to
cashed out too soon, you think?
No, I don't think so. I cashed out at the right time for me.
Okay, right. Yeah, that sounds lame.
That's me, lame and safe.
Goddamn. I tell you what, I should have cashed out before that fucking crypto crash. I'm seeing a lot of green these days, eh? Past couple of days have been good.
Things have started to come back up, but really it couldn't get any worse. So
I think it could. I was expecting it to, and I was getting very, very concerned. But keep on going back up. I'll be happy. Things to pay for, and that's all my fucking net worth. My net worth, a couple $100.
Crypto investments. Yeah. Speaking of net worth or losing money, I suppose is really what it comes down to. Did you see the whole boondoggle over Pixelmon NFT?
Only from Balthazar on our Discord. He said you should check it out, and I didn't check it out, but I was hoping you would check it out for me,
So Pixelmon is a Pokemon ripoff. They were never really hiding from that fact. But I guess on hype alone, it raised like $70 million in minting before anybody had actually seen the art.
Jesus.
And then this is the art.
That's very disappointing.
Up to 3 ETH per mint. The project completely sold out in less than a day. According to the project's roadmap, it promised the largest and highest quality game the NFT space has ever seen.
Jesus.
The pseudonymous Cyber, that's a good name, said he was a 21-year-old male named Martin. He also said the lives of my team and family have been threatened. I mean, I don't agree, obviously, with threatening anyone ever. It's not worth threatening someone's life, but you can't rip $70 million off of people and not expect a little bit of a repercussion, you know?
Yeah, just a little bit, you know. You shouldn't receive much repercussion, but no, that's wild.
So I don't know what, if anything, they're gonna do to make it right. I mean, it kind of is what it is. It's bought and paid for. You got what you got. But this guy here, Kevin, being called what is it? The viral character Kevin, which some have described as ugly zombie Squirtle, is selling for over 3 ETH on OpenSea. So there's a market for it. There is always a market for shit stuff. Right now it's at 7.7 ETH. And that's the floor.
Can you check the sales on this if you're able to? Like, click on one, and like, I'm thinking surely no one's buying this. This is just people who received it and they want to offload somehow, you know. Activity, yeah.
Oh yeah,
like the activity,
half an ETH, or no, that's the floor price. 12.5K ETH traded.
Jesus. And that's just on secondary, right?
Yeah, the most recent sale was a minute ago for 0.4 ETH.
Right.
So this guy was just bought for $1,200.
So what was the mint price? Was it 3 ETH, you said?
So it said as high as 3 ETH. So it must have been on like one of those curves, you know, the more it sells, the more expensive it gets.
Oh yeah. Right.
Yeah, 9 minutes ago. What's the most expensive sale? 35 minutes ago, this went for 1.18.
Jeez.
I cannot not in a position to critique people's art, but I'm not spending $4,000 on whatever this is.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You've got your NFT punks, which is wildly popular, and the art is not good. And I guess it was never supposed to be good. And if it was supposed to be good, well, I was going to say I'm sorry, but I'm not really. The art is not good, but people love it, and it's probably good because it was like the first generative project, you know. Well, that's why it's big. But it's not uncommon in NFTs to look at something with bad art and see that it's gone for a crazy shitload of money for bad art. And this is no exception, I guess, although this is more puzzling than most.
Oh, this an hour ago, 8.69, $20,000 someone just spent on this.
Oh,
I want to call this person and be like, you know, I have a project. And you can get considerably more bang for your buck if you want to spend $20,000. Let's see what else this wallet owns. Son of a Beach 23.
I love doing that as well. It's interesting to see what people have, you know.
So they got dropped a bunch of spam NFTs. I assume that's what those are. This is a cool Mickey Mouse NFT. I like that. Shitloads. I like that.
Not bad.
Right, yeah. What else do they have? So nothing amazing that I've seen so far. World of Women. Okay.
Yeah,
so
there's Let's Walk is fun, right?
Yeah, that's also good. And then this World of Women is becoming really popular. That's what that KPMG article was talking about.
Oh, yeah, World of Women. Right.
And then there's this person certainly has
a few money. NFTs.
Yeah. 5 penguins. Son of a Beach 23.eth. There's that ENS name.
Invisible Friends are cool as well.
Yeah. Okay, so this guy knows what they're doing. I suppose if they feel like it's realistic to spend $20,000 on a Pixelman Generation 1, maybe that was the plan the whole time.
Yep. Now, I don't want to give credit where it is undue. Perhaps it is due here, I'm not sure. But I do find that people can have more money than sense. And I think anyone who bought into Ethereum rather, at a very low price, got lucky, and maybe they don't have the sense that they should. Maybe that's too judgmental. I'm not saying Son of a Beach is one of these guys in particular. I'm just saying it is a possibility.
You do get a lot of yes, people with more money than sense, especially as you just said, when it comes to people who made it big early on, when it comes to this kind of stuff.
Yep. But I will say one thing for them: they took a risk and put a lot of money into cryptocurrency. Whether a lot of money at the time was only $200 even, now it's worth a hell of a lot. So they were one of the first.
Yeah, good for them.
Yep.
Good for them. Whereas if I had kept, I don't want to go down this road again. I think we've talked about it already. But if I had kept that, that $200 worth of BTC in 2011, that would have been worth, I don't know what now. I'm sure there's a way to calculate, but I'm not going.
I'm sure you're avoiding doing the sums. I would as well.
Yeah, it's, right.
But
so that
to be fair, sorry to finish that thought. To be fair, if you did keep it and you were made of money, now I would be talking about you the same way I was talking about Son of a Beach there. That's more true. Money than sense.
Because I would have just purchased $20,000 NFT.
That's right. It looked like shit.
So from $20,000 Pixelmon projects over to maybe a $20,000 Pixelmon project. I don't know. What do you have in store for us today, Ross?
Well, it's doing well, I would say. I wanted to revisit one of the previous projects that I featured before, and you may remember this one's called Tiny Familiars.
Yes.
And I've kept a close eye on the project. I've been in the Discord basically every day. I've become one of those guys who just goes into Discord, says morning, and then buggers off again. But at least, I'm making an appearance and catching up on their news. And so to catch people up on what it is, let me share my screen. To catch people up on what it is, it's 44 little lizards, one-on-one basically. It's the same pose, but varying colors, varying backgrounds, varying little extra, what do you say? Like, for example, this guy is a sort of a bald, very smooth head, but a different color than the others. Got wee spikes here, and the leaves are different. Whereas the next guy, this guy, for example, he's got a spiky head, different color eyes. The leaves are more rounded, so it's all same pose, but all these extra little cool differences. I would say the colors are mostly what caught my eye. But anyway, they're very cute and very well executed. So we've got Shiara, the 2D artist who designed them. I assume all the colors as well. And then we've got Jose, the 3D artist, who I think he uses Substance Painter or something to paint them. I think he uses Blender as well, which is fun for me because Blender's free and open source. So it just means that you could probably do something like that if you try it hard enough without having to pay anything,
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. I fucking
even me.
Free. Even me. I don't see why not. Like, it is obviously it is an artistic skill, but it's very technical as well. And if you're looking for a career path, by the way, like, game studios are crying out for good 3D artists, and it's more, well, it's probably half and half. It's half technical and half art. And so if you can sort of get in between the two, there's a career for you there if anyone cares. But I digress anyway. So yeah, Tiny Familiars. Oh, this one's mine, by the way. I managed to buy in when it was going on, and it was a bloodbath basically during the mint, because I had my eye on two of them, and I was like, if I don't get this one, I'll go for that one. And I couldn't get anyone. I was like, oh, holy shit, I missed that one, and I'm just trying to get anyone, because I'm sure there must have been like 500 people going for just 44 of them. So it was a gas war, and people were paying gas to try and buy, and they were losing gas because someone's transaction went through before theirs, and yada yada yada. And there was a lot of disappointment, and only 44 people got them.
Yeah.
And speaking of people who got them, I'm not sure if this was during the mint or this was all off secondary, but the co-founder of World of Women that we are talking about just earlier bought one as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's an exclusive little collection anyway. And I'm oh look. This one's mine as well. It's the avatar of the actual collection. I'm pretty happy with that. But yeah, basically it was the mint price was 0.08 and the floor price now is a 1, so it's 1 ether now is. So it's gone up and it's sort of kept there. Previous sales have been, I think the lowest was 0.66, which is a tidy sum as well.
Yeah.
0.9, 0.698, which may as well be 0.7. But yeah, I just wanted to revisit that and also show you the Discord. Hold on, you share. So the Discord is 263 members currently, and it's sort of stayed stable, like around the 200s, I would say, but it's quite very, very familial. Everyone knows each other.
Yeah.
They've announced their new collection, which is Tiny Foxes, which is going to be available in May. And instead of only having 44 this time, it's going to be 144, which means a hell of a lot more work for them. But more greedy, but more of a chance for people to actually buy in. Additionally, they've also been doing some cool stuff to reward holders. For example, they call us the Familiars Keepers, I think, Lizard Keepers. What is it? Keepers, I guess. Keepers, because Familiars Keepers. There we go. Right. How many times I need to say that bloody word? So everyone on the Discord got sent this tiny baby lizard as a thank you.
Cool.
Additionally, the Familiars Keepers got airdrops of 2D art for their lizards, and that was dependent on which element you had of your lizard. Mine one's an earth element, so I got an earth 2D little thing there. Additionally, I'll come back to this. Additionally, they are sending out magical artifacts to every holder of the little lizards, and whoever gets the artifacts, how does it get? No, if you're a holder, you react to one of the Discord messages. 4 winners will be chosen from those reactions, and if you win one of the artifacts, you get a legendary lizard. So you get an extra lizard airdrop to you, which is awesome. So I'm hoping for one.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And if I don't get one, I'll be disappointed because the
Rage
legendary
quit NFTs.
The legendary lizards look even cooler. Like, check this out. Like all the fancy spikies, you know.
That is cool.
Oh, look at this guy. So it's a legendary fire, which I think is awesome. Like just extra special.
Yeah.
And he's got a wee calcifer in between his horns. I'm not sure if you've seen Howl's Moving Castle from Studio Ghibli.
Yes. That's cool.
One of those guys. All right. And lastly, before I finish, they're also doing an art contest, which is draw this in your style. And the winner will receive this actual lizard, which has not been assigned to anyone yet, and also a whitelist for the Tiny Foxes, which will be out in May.
Okay.
So yeah.
So are you going to do that? Are you going to enter?
I am, absolutely. And I better win a legendary, and I better win this Nemo lizard.
Right.
And
that's
then,
right.
You know.
Otherwise, you're going to have some strong words for Jose.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of Jose, he's in our Crowfolk chat as well.
Yeah, I noticed. That's awesome. It's nice to make those connections like that.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, it's nice to get an update about a project and see that it's doing well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's doing well. The floor price is holding steady. The artists, the creators are, making things happen, keeping people engaged. Like the general chat is like a proper little family. Like if you post some community art in the community art channel, you'll get people just talking about it. Oh, well done, that's great. You get artists that are like, oh, I made a sale today. Like it's like an artist channel almost. It's strange.
That's cool. That's really good.
But yeah, very nice family. I would recommend it to anyone. No assholes, please. But sorry, Jason.
Yeah. Damn, another one I missed out on. My mother grew up or lived for a time when she was a child in Quebec, in Montreal. And there was this is like a third-hand story, and it's just 40-year-old story or 50-year-old story at this point, so I'm probably getting every detail wrong, but basically there was like a clothing shop, and this guy in his heavy French Canadian accent the slogan was basically, "Come to my shop where you get no hassles," but in his extremely French Canadian accent, it always, "Where you get no assholes." So reminded me of that. We'll cut that in post. Speaking of comedy or lack thereof, let's get to our comedy bits of the week, shall we?
Yes, please do. Do you want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. So yeah, not sure yet how much of this we'll leave in or how much of this is funny, but I sent you the link. We can start it right at the beginning, and we'll listen to all 6 minutes of it, and then we'll go from there. 3, 2, 1, play.
This is not the Hollywood look. This is not. There's two looks for black women in Hollywood. You either look like Halle Berry or Precious, and there's no sliding scale. I used to get sent for the most ridiculous auditions when I was in Hollywood. This was an actual audition I got sent for. I'm not even making this up. This was the name of the character. Ghetto Hoochie number 3. I had one line. Do you want to hear the line? Nigga is not your baby. That was... I said to my agent, I will not say that. I refuse. I would not say it. I got integrity. I'm a black woman. I will not do it. And then I saw the money. And I was like, nigga is not your baby. Do you think I'll get promoted to Ghetto Hoochie 1? What do you think? So it's good to be back. So I don't know if some of you are looking a bit confused. Did you know there were black people in England? Did you know? We are everywhere. You look confused though, sir. You look confused. You're looking up at me like, is that Idris Elba? What is happening? I know, from London, England, born and raised. Obviously, black people are not indigenous to England. My mum came from Nigeria, West Africa. No, don't cheer that shit. She went from Nigeria to England. What the fuck was she thinking? My mum had the pick of the globe. She could have gone anywhere in the world. Imagine my mum in Nigeria with all her maps spread out before her. Where shall I go? Where shall I go? You know what? I am fed up with the sunshine. I want to go somewhere with a lot of drizzle and subtle racism. That's what I want, subtle. Because I don't know if you know this, Americans, but the Brits are the best at racism. They're the best. They're better than you Americans. They're so good, you don't even know you're being discriminated against. They are fucking ninja racist. And that's why I prefer good old-fashioned American racism. Yeah, I said America, I prefer it. It's in your face. You know where you stand with American racism. You guys have even made movies to let me know where I'm welcome and where I'm not. For instance, I know I'm never going to fucking Mississippi. I've seen the films. Having said that though, my manager did recently put some shows in my calendar for Birmingham, Alabama. I know. I saw that come up in my calendar and I was like, fuck no! And then I saw the money. And I was like, you know what, we shouldn't be so quick to judge. We should give the people a chance. So I went to Birmingham, Alabama, people. And it was all right. I had a good time. I experienced that southern hospitality. The shows were great. And they put me in a very nice hotel. Very nice. I was very surprised by this. I'll tell you why. I'm from England. All I know about Alabama is from your movies. So I wasn't expecting to be staying in no nice hotel. I was expecting to be staying in a shack on a swamp run by some guy wearing overalls who referred to me as boy. That's what I was expecting. So I was very surprised by the hotel. I thought, oh, this is lovely. This is very civilized. This is wonderful. I basically treated Alabama the way white people treat Africa the first time they go. You know what I'm talking about, white people. You turn up in Africa for the first time, you're like, wow. They have cars and shoes and shit. That's how I was in Alabama. I was like, wow, they have electricity and teeth. This. A lot of black people in Alabama. That shocked me. I was really surprised by that. I was like, wow, a lot of black people. I got off the plane and I saw the black people and I ran up to them and I was like that. You know you can leave, right? You don't even have to go underground. You can just drive.
So that is Gina Yashiri, who I quite enjoy.
I enjoyed that.
There was a sitcom called Bob Hart's Abishola, which was a big white guy falling in love with a Nigerian nurse who was looking after him after he had a heart attack. And I had listened to her do stand-up, Gina Yashiri, and then completely unrelated, I found that show Bob Hart's Abishola, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. There's a joke in here that sounds very similar to the joke that Gina Yashiri did. And yeah, it turns out she's a co-creator of the show. So good for her.
Yeah, for her. I recognize her from well, I don't know. You must have the same sort of shows. It probably comes from America, the concept at least. Like it's just a sort of talk show where you get like 4 comedians sat around the table and they ask questions and they make fun of whatever they're saying, just like statements, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, seen a lot of her on there, and yeah, funny. So yeah, well done. I like it.
Yeah, funny. Yeah, she's good. All right, what do you got for us? Oh, let me get it loaded up here.
Yeah, load it up. It's not a short clip, but I just want to play 30 seconds of it.
Okay.
It's not a corker. I think I mentioned to you before. It's just something that made me chuckle. So yeah, we'll just play a wee half minute of it.
And it's just the first 30 seconds of this clip.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. And I do love Conan. I'm a huge Conan fan, so I'm excited for that. Alrighty. Well, Bill Burr on Bill and Melinda Gates' divorce. Starting in 3, 2, 1, play.
What do you make of this Bill and Melinda Gates divorce? You following that? That's a crazy story.
No, I haven't, but I know if I say that she's going to get a ridiculous amount of money that she didn't earn, I'm going to be labeled a misogynist.
Of course she's going to get a ridiculous
Fucking looks like one as well.
Why? Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Why?
She's been a partner of
Stop
his.
it.
What?
Stop it.
Stop what?
Just stop with this bullshit that, like, Dr. Dre's wife hanging out with them, and that's why he came up with the headphones.
Wait a minute. What?
I don't understand, like, what do you talk to your wife about? Are you sitting there going over plans and blueprints? You're not. It's all like, you've been working a lot lately.
Yeah.
which isn't even supportive.
Wait a minute.
Hey, I am liberal when it comes to this shit. Because when Britney,
All right, that's as far as I got really, but I'll do.
Spoken like someone who's gone through a divorce, I suppose. Bill Burr.
Yeah, I'm not even sure he has, to be honest. No, I don't think he has. But yeah, you get a point anyway.
Yeah,
it's
no,
just
I
a
get
sort
it.
of throwback to all his like his earlier stuff. He used to be so against it, and now he's married, he's got a kid and everything. I don't know. It's just it's funny to see him go back to it.
Yeah, it's amazing how if you catch, well, I guess anyone, but I was gonna say I've heard some comedians really fly off the handle when it comes to like ex-wives and stuff. So yeah, I remember we spoke about John Cleese last week, and I remember listening to an interview of John Cleese, and it must have been right as he was going through a divorce, because he was just so bitter and talking about like, you know, I'm 70 years old now and I'm going to have to be working until I'm 170 to pay for this most recent divorce. So
yeah, I might have seen the same interview actually, but yeah, it's hilarious. He's a good egg.
Well, I think that does it. I think that's everything I had for this week. I don't know about you. Did you have anything else?
Nope, that's it. Same thing. We're supposed to make sure and remember the Crowfolk thing.
That's right.
Right.
So we did. Yeah, congratulations
we did,
to us. We remembered. So yeah, once this airs, which I believe is going to be March 9th, we will open up a giveaway on the Discord for March 9th. And basically all you need to do is join our Discord, and you'll have, what should we say? Should we say a week? Should we say the giveaway is open for a week until the next episode comes out?
Yep, makes sense.
All right. So once this episode comes out, you'll have a week to log on to the Discord. All you need to do is head over to the giveaways channel and click the button to join the giveaway. And the winner will win a Crowfolk NFT once that collection is minting. And we're looking at minting before the end of March.
Correct. And I must say, it's quite the prize, guys. If I don't say so myself, we are generous to you.
The prize. It's going to be yes. You may think us. We are. What's the word when you're a nice dictator? We're anyways
benevolent.
We're benevolent dictators. Well, aside from that giveaway, make sure you all join that Discord. Make sure you all click the giveaway button. As always, if you have any questions or comments, if you have any thoughts on anything we've talked about today, if you are an expert in ENS domain names or Pixelmon Generation 1 or Nigerian immigration over to Britain or America, hit us up. We want to hear from you. You can email us at asknftpod@gmail.com, asknftpod@gmail.com, or you can visit our website at nearlyfreshtopics.com. And with that, I will say goodbye to you and hand it over to Ross.
Fresh out.